The Charlotte Hornets take on the Orlando Magic in an exciting NBA Cup group stage match with LaMelo Ball and Brandon Miller leading the charge. Can the young Hornets duo find their rhythm and provide an exciting and prove that they have what it takes for long-term success? We'll dive into the team's current form analysis and potentially early season trades. Brandon Miller on the horizon. Is that something legit? And we also spotlight. We'll go ahead and spotlight key games to watch as the NBA Cup unfolds. Don't miss this and more in Fan Zone Basketball. Let's get it.
Artlist.io.
Hello, and welcome to Fan Zone Basketball. This is your. I'll be talking about the game today of the NBA Cup, the group stage match to start today as the first match unfolds. We'll go ahead and go through the groups, the matches today, matches to watch, and then we'll dive into the second segment, talking about a little more in depth in the game for the Hornets versus Magic. Now, starting today at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. Remember, all these games you can watch through NBA League Pass or your local channels. We have the Heat against the. Sorry about that. Let me go ahead and do. All right, there we go. Apologize for that. My bad. All right, so we'll go ahead. First game starting at 6 p.m. We have the Heat against the Pistons. We have Hawks against Celtics, Hornets versus Magic, Knicks versus 76ers, Raptor versus Bucks, Suns versus Jazz, Maverick versus Warriors, and Timberwolves versus Trailblazers. Games to watch. We have the Heat versus the Pistons. No. Um Hawk versus Celtics. That's gonna be a really good game. We'll go ahead and have that as a game to watch. So we'll go ahead and have watch a game to watch today would be Hawk versus Celtics, Knicks versus 76ers, and Minnesota the Mavericks versus the Warriors. Now for those type of games you want to keep an eye on for are Raptors versus Bucks. The Bucks are coming out of loss, even though they had that blowout win. They are still very on edge in terms of what they can do today. They need to win. They need to win this for Giannis. They need to win this, even though they don't have no Damian Miller. He's out, I believe, for concussion. So there's gonna be different. It's going to be a very difficult game for them, but definitely something that they have to keep an eye on as the tournament goes on. Potentially developing uh, a spot where getting into a spot where the Bucks are going to have to blow it up and get rid of Giannis and start all over, which is crazy to think about with everything that they have done with Giannis Antetokounmpo doing everything that he has done for the Milwaukee Bucks and vice versa. This is definitely something to keep an eye on. Potentially, by this time next year, or not even 2025, the Bucks might look a little bit more different. That's definitely something that we need to keep an eye on for sure. For sure. The other game that will be going more in depth is the Hornets against the Magic. They definitely have something to prove. Both teams. Hornets need to prove that this is not an outlier just because it's the beginning of the season. The Magic need to prove that they are a contending team. It's going to be fast paced. The Magic don't have Paolo Banchero, don't, and I believe they had just their center. Um, also went out in the last game, so this is definitely a game that the Hornets can win. Should the Hornets focus on making it a deep run in the NBA Cup? We'll talk about that coming up in the next segment for your Fan Zone Basketball. Let's get it.
Artlist.io.
Welcome back to Fanzone Basketball. I'm your host Lou, and today we'll be talking about the a little bit more in depth in your second segment of your show for all your NBA needs. Your second segment is going to be the Charlotte Hornets against the Orlando Magic. Now, uh, the record stands as the Hornets have a 4-6, and the Orlando has a 5-6 record. The Orlando Magic are Pablo Banquero-less. They do not have their starting guard. And Charlotte Hornet actually has two really dynamic dual players right now in Melo Ball with um, and also Brandon Miller. Now Trey Trey Man, aka Mini Iverson, he is currently questionable, but with the roster that the Hornets have right now, and with the possibility of Lamelo going off, or even Brandon Miller, even both, I do see the Hornets winning this game. Now, it could. I see two possibilities for this game. One, the Hornets can put the foot on the gas right away and just blow them out, do a 30-40 point blowout with if they come in hot, they come in with something to prove, with a chip on their shoulder, definitely have a better um they have on paper a better team with today, right? With all if all the players were not injured today, the Charlotte Hornets has a slightly better competitive team. But we cannot take away the fact that Orlando without Pablo Banquero, without Banquero, you know, functions different. This team was built around him, and this team works with him. So they, it's gonna be a tight game for both for sure. But I can see this going both two ways. I can see the Hornets, you know, dominating since the beginning of the game, going crazy, not letting the Orlando do their thing, and go up 40, 50, 60 points, just go crazy. Or the Orlando Magic hit him then hard early, and then the Charlotte Hornets having to crawl their way back again for trying to compete into this game. So I can see that going either way. But I do think that the Hornets have the edge on this one. So I'll go with your Charlotte Hornets as the winners today. With that said, let's look at the stats of the players right now, real quick. Let me go ahead and change scene. Magic. All right. Well, with the two that we were talking about, with Lamelo going with an All NBA. Seriously, All NBA. 41 minutes in the last game against the 76ers. 38 points, 4 rebounds, 8 assists, six made threes out of 18, 13 out of 30 in the field goal, 2 steals. I thought he had one block, that one that he did to Paul George. But for I mean, insane. He's averaging 29 points, and he's leading the NBA with most um with the most points in the quarter. So he right now leads the NBA as the fourth quarter points for the fourth quarter. He takes over. I believe he's 6'9" now. This is wrong. I believe he's 6'9". Um, Against the Pacers, 31 points. Again, 7 rebounds, 6 assists, 1 steal, 1 block. Against the Pistons, 25 points. That doesn't seem right. He's averaging 29, 29, almost 30 points. This is insane. It might come over. It might stay like that. It might not, but it's insane what he's doing uh, as of today. And then the other player that we're looking into a little bit will be Brandon Miller. Brandon Miller is also playing insane, averaging 17 points through the season. Last game against the 76ers, 22 points with 7 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals, and 1 block. Against the Pacers, 29 points with 6 rebounds, 6 assists, 1 steal, 1 block. Against the Pistons, 19 points, 6 assists, 4 steals, 4 assists, 0 steals, 0 blocks. He's averaging 17 points. He's averaging 4.3 rebounds, 3.3 assists, 1 steal per game, 0.7 blocks per game. It is insane, insane what these two are doing. This is a very dynamic game. And then the last game against the 76ers, they lost by 2 points, but in reality, they almost they had to win. It's definitely a learning curve for them. They'll definitely see. Um, it's gonna be a good game. Really fun game to watch. I suggest you guys go ahead and watch this game for sure. All right, this is the second segment. Following up to the last segment, we'll talk about real quick about some trade options. They have Brandon Ingram to the Pelicans. Is that liable? Is it? Is it not? Um, for your Charlotte Hornets again. Thanks for listening to Fan Zone Basketball. Let's get it.
Artlist.io.
Hello, hello, and welcome back to Fan Zone Basketball. This is your podcast for your everyday news, basketball needs. Listen to us every day as we go over NBA season and your Charlotte Hornets. Today we'll be talking about. Uh, don't forget to like and subscribe to the video if you enjoy the content, and also follow us on Meta and other social medias. We are looking to up production. As you can see, we finally figure out how to do a little bit of sound effects. So hopefully this brings the production value up a little bit for you guys. You're entertaining, and we're getting better at trying to speak and sound better. Growing here in this channel. Also, we'll be talking about your Charlotte Hornets and the trade rumors that we have with the Pelicans. Um, and this is brought to you by sportingnews.com. With the young core of Lamelo Miller and Miles Bridges, the Hornets the though seem as though they are ready to take the next step in contention. To do this, they'll need another All Star, which they could do, trading Brandon Ingram to the New Orleans Pelicans. Um, According to this post, Ingram was the subject of trade rumors for the offseason, and due to his being on his final year contract, the Hornets might be able to pull off a blockbuster deal for him. They would need to sign in him to an extension so that it doesn't leave for free agency next summer. So this have they have him being traded. For this to work, the possible trade, the Hornets could send Nick Richards, Grant Williams, Taj Gibson, and Vasil Mikic to the New Orleans in exchange for Ingram. And they might also have to send potential capital draft to the Pelicans. Now, I don't know what world this person lives in, but trading Nick Richards, which just alone, it's a coveted solid center for the NBA rotation, for any NBA rotation. Grant Williams, Taj Gibson, and Basil Micic. He hasn't been playing well, but let's take this in serious. He's a Europe League MVP. Uh, for ISO player in Ingram that has no defense. I'm sorry, but I have to laugh at this because it's ridiculous. What I mean, ridiculous. And my little friend would say,
Ridiculous. And my other friend would say,
Ridiculous.
it's a ridiculous.
Like my boys.
Ridiculous.
trade. Okay, ridiculous trade. They should not do that. They should not go for it. They should not. The only person center, the only trade the Hornets should be looking at is Miles Turner from the Pacers and maybe Buddy Hield. That's it. They need shooters. They need a center. They need an athletic center, and that's what they have to do. They need to trade for Turner. They need to trade for Buddy Hield or some shooters. 3 and Ds. That's all they need. Okay, nothing else. No Brandon Ingram, ISO player, which would not work whatsoever. But I get it. They need to bring up the clicks. But God, man, sometimes I feel like these people don't even watch the games. Well, with that said, that will be all for today. Thanks for watching Fan Zone Basketball, your Fan Zone podcast for news your everyday needs. Please follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. Subscribe, like, and subscribe this video so you can get more updates whenever new ones come out. We'll be doing a game recap for the Hornets, your Charlotte Hornets game against the Orlando Magic, and we'll go also over the picks on terms of points. Please, you want to win $50. That's all you have to do. Enter to a chance of $50. Just let me know who's gonna win today or who do you have, and we'll make it happen. All right. This has been Fan Zone Basketball. Let's do it. This has been Fan Zone Basketball. Let's do it.
Artlist.io. Music licensing reimagined. Artlist.io. Music licensing reimagined. Artlist.io. Music licensing reimagined.